Hello everyone, again we will continue with our second lesson. I will talk about psychology of safety as a first topic, and I want you all to think about what happens inside the human mind. Okay, what is the psychology behind the safety? So when we repeat a task many times without any problem, our brain says it's safe, and then we stop paying attention. That's when mistakes appear. To fight that, professionals use something called the safety mindset, and it means you imagine every possible danger before starting it. So you ask yourself, what could go wrong? By imagining the risk, you prepare. By imagining the risk, you prepare your mind. And if something unexpected happens, you react faster because you accepted it before. And good electricians are not only skilled, they are cautious. They plan every step and they never feel ashamed to double check. Checking again is not weakness, guys. Never forget that. It's professionalism. If you are professional enough, you will go check it until you be sure that it is safe. And there's historical lessons behind this too. Electrical safety rules did not appear in one day, guys. They were written after many tragic events, unfortunately. And in the early 19th, factories used open wires hanging from ceilings. There was no insulation, no proper fuse. Workers got shocks every week, and after several fatal fires, governments began to write safety quotas because they thought that it can't go anywhere like this. So by 1930, most developed countries required grounding and protective insulation. And after Second World War, circuit breakers replaced simple fuses. Every modern rule we follow today was born from someone's mistake in the past. So when you wear gloves or check a cable, you should remember that you are continuing a century of hard-learned experience, and you should behave in that way. And we have a topic that called electrical safety at home and school too. Guys, safety is not only for work, it's also for your everyday life. At home, you shouldn't plug too many things into one extension. You should keep cables away from heat or sharp edges, and you should teach children not to play with sockets. It's very important because they are so curious, they will usually go and check them. And in schools, laboratories must have emergency switches and clear exit paths. And if you ever see a broken plug or a spark, you should report it, guys. You shouldn't wait. And even a small fault can become a big problem if you ignore it. So you should always report it and see a professional about that. Okay, let's pause for a moment and think about what we have covered so far with the earlier lesson. We learned what electricity is, why it is dangerous, what common mistakes people make, and how to protect ourselves, right? We also talked about grounding, insulation, overloading, and human behavior. And when we finish this course, we should remember this sentence. Electricity is useful, but only when you respect it. So this idea should guide us every time we touch a switch or a cable. And today's main topic is like there's a lots of topics about that, but so far from here I talked about the early class, and we will continue with today's class. Okay, we will talk about the meaning of PPE. What does that mean? What does it mean? When you work with electricity, your best friend is personal protective equipment. So everything you wear or use to protect your body from electrical shock, burns, or other injuries, it does not make you 100% safe, but it gives you extra protection in case something goes wrong. There are many types of PPE. Let's go through the most common ones slowly and clearly to understand them better. And right now we in here I wrote personal protective equipment plays a crucial role in safeguarding individuals from potential hazards in the workplace and beyond. By minimizing exposure to risk, PPE enhance safety in various environments ranging from industrial settings to healthcare facilities. First one is insulated gloves and rubber boots. Okay, these gloves are made of special rubber or plastic material that does not allow current to pass through. And that means when you touch a wire, the insulation blocks the electricity from entering your hands, so it protects you. That's why wearing normal cloth gloves is not enough. They can get wet, and water conducts electricity. Um, and the second one is rubber boots, guys. They're just as important as the gloves we talked about. If your feet touch the ground directly, the electric current can travel through your body and escape through your feet. But rubber is an insulator, so it stops that path. Always make sure your boots are dry, clean, and without cracks. And you should always know that even a small hole can let water in and reduce protection. And training on the proper use and maintenance of PPE is critical. Workers must know how to select appropriate equipment and ensure it is in good condition to provide effective protection. And you should question it. You should ask your bosses or whoever is responsible about that question. You should ask this question: am I safe while working with them? And next is the safety helmets and goggles. Sometimes, guys, we forget that electricity can cause not only shocks but also explosions or falling objects. When a cable burns or a tool slips, your head must be protected. So that's why we wear helmets in every workshop or industrial area. Safety helmets and protective goggles play a critical role in workplace safety by providing essential head and eye protection. They are specifically designed to guard against hazards such as falling objects, flying debris, and other potential dangers, significantly reducing the risk of injury and promoting a secure work environment. And don't forget protective goggles. They shield your eyes from sparks, especially dust or small pieces of metal. A tiny spark can cause big damage to your eyes, so you should always keep your goggles on whenever you use electrical tools or work near welding machines. We will talk about the importance of fire-resistant clothing, but I want to ask a question. Is there anyone who wants to ask me something? Is there anyone who didn't get anything? Okay, let's move on. Fire resistant clothing. Ordinary clothes made of cotton or nylon can catch fire quickly. But if an electric arc happens, flames can spread in seconds. So that's why electricians wear the fire resistant FR clothing. These clothes are made of special fibers that burn very slowly or not at all. They give you enough time to step back and turn off the power. They are designed for high risk. This clothing is made from materials that are specifically engineered to resist the ignition and withstand extreme temperatures. This type of clothing is crucial for occupations such as firefighting, welding, and other tasks that involve exposure to flames or heat. And also, fire resistant clothing should fit well, not too loose, not too tight, or loose sleeves can catch on wires or tools. Tight clothes can make it hard to move when you need to escape. And employer responsibility. Employers are responsible for providing appropriate fire resistant clothing to their workers, like I said before. and ensuring that it meets safety standards and fits properly. Regular inspections and maintains are also necessary to ensure continued effectiveness. Okay, let's move on with the importance of insulated tools. Okay, gloves and boots protect your body, but you also need to protect your hands when you hold tools. You should always use insulated tools: screwdrivers, pliers, cutters with a plastic or rubber handle. Never use a tool with a broken handle. Metal parts can carry currents, like I said. Electricity goes through metals, so one small crack in the handle can become dangerous for you, for your health. And if you see a damaged tool, you should report it and replace it immediately. And there's a timeline highlighting in here. Early 1900s, introduction of basic isolated tools designed to protect workers from electric shock in electrical trades. And 80s advancements in materials led to the development of more effective insulated tools and champion protection for electricians. In 90s, standardization of insulated tool safety regulations emerged, ensuring constant safety across the industry. And we will talk about the lockout procedure and tagout procedure. Okay. Now let's learn one of the most important safety systems in the electrical world. These are lockouts and tagout systems, or LOTO, we can say. This system means you make. Let me check who's there. This system means you make sure that no one can turn on the power while you are working. And when you finish turning off the switch or circuit breaker, you lock it with a small padlock. Then you take it, you attach a label with your name, date, and message like "Do not turn on," and maintenance in progress. And why is this important? Because in many accidents, someone turns on the power without knowing that another worker is still repairing the circuit. And Lotto prevents that. Only the person who placed the lock can remove it. So it's a simple idea, but it saves lives. You saw in here too, lockup procedure. The lockup procedure involves shutting down the machinery and disconnecting it from its energy source. This ensures that the equipment cannot be operated until maintenance is finished, protecting workers from unexpected startups. And we see tagout procedure. The tagout procedure involves placing a tag on the equipment that indicates it should not be operated. This serves as a warning to others that maintenance is in progress and must not be interrupted, further enhancing workplace safety. And here our next topic is step-by-step electrical safety procedure. Okay, let's go through a basic safe work procedure together. I want you to imagine you need to repair a light or a motor. Here are the steps that you should follow. First of all, like we all know, power shutdown means disconnecting the power. You should turn off the main switch or unplug the device. And before starting any electrical work, ensure that the power is turned off to the equipment or circuit you will be working on, and always verify the energization with a testing device. And then you should check that the power is off, then lock and the tag switch. Make sure nobody can turn it on. Wear your PPE. Use insulated tools and PPE. Use insulated tools and wear appropriate personal protective equipment to reduce the risk of electric shock during work. Work carefully. Keep cables steady, avoid water, and stay focused. Final checks before power restoration. After completing the work to ensure that all tools and equipment are removed and the area is free of hazards before restricting power. And you should turn on power only when everyone is clear. And if you follow these eight steps every time, you will be working like a professional in your life. And our next step is recognizing unsafe condition, guys. I want to ask a question. Do you know the importance of recognizing unsafe conditions? Do you have any ideas that you want to share with me? Okay, then let me explain it. Oh, is there some? Okay, I can explain it. Sometimes, guys, the danger is not obvious because we said that we can't see electricity, right? Maybe the light is flickering, maybe the plug feels warm, or maybe you hear a buzzing sound like buzz. And all of these are warning signs, guys. You should always be careful about them. A flickering light can mean a loose connection, or a warm plug means too much current. A buzzing sound can mean an arc inside the socket. And never ignore these small signs. Don't think that they are small signs. They can mean lots of things. And you should report them, fix them, or call someone qualified if you don't think that you are qualified enough to fix them. Because, like we said, small problems become big accidents when we ignore them. And there is no way of ignoring electricity because it can cause so many injuries. Like we said, it can cause your death, so you should always be careful about that. Okay, every person who works on electric should know first aid, right? Now let's talk about what to do if an accident happens. Even if you are careful, emergencies can still occur, so you must know the first aid steps for electric shock. Step 1 is do not touch the person directly, because if they're still connected to electricity, you will also get shocked, and when you try to help them, you will get in shock too, and you will get harmed too. So immediate action for electric shock is, in case of electric shock, the first step is to ensure the safety of the rescuer by disconnecting the power. Disconnecting the power source before approaching the victim. Like we said, do not directly touch them. Call emergency services immediately and check the victim's responsiveness. If they're unconscious, perform CPR until help arrives. And you should turn off the power immediately. If you cannot find the switch, use a dry wooden stick, a plastic chair, or any non-metal object, because metal is dangerous, to separate the person from the source. Then you should call for help, like we said. And check breathing and pulse. If the person is not breathing, start CPR if you know that, only if you know how to do it, because if you don't know, it will get any worse than the situation. And keep the person warm and calm. I bet so many people don't know that. You shouldn't give water or food. Sometimes internal injuries are not visible, so they always have to send to the hospital. These steps may sound simple, but they can save life, guys. And there is a way of first aid for electrical burns. For burns caused by electrical sources, cool the burn area under running water for at least 10 minutes. Do not apply ice or ointments. Cover the burn with a sterile, non-stick dressing and seek medical attention. Electrical fires are different from normal fires, guys. You must never use water on an electrical fire. Water conducts electricity and you could get shocked. Instead, you can use dry powder extinguisher. They remove oxygen and cool the fire without conducting current. And every workshop should have these. Make sure you know what it is and how to use it. Look for the label for electrical fires before you use any of them. And preparedness with first aid kits. It is essential to have a first aid kit really accessible in workplaces where electrical work is performed. Ensure that all employees are trained in basic first aid procedures, including how to handle electrical injuries. And in emergency response plan, every school, factory, and office should have these. There should be clear exit signs and meeting point outside the building, a list of emergency numbers, and if you ever work in a new place, learn the emergency plan on your first day, because in an emergency, every second matters, guys. Okay. Maintaining safety equipment is going to be our last topic, I guess. We will talk the later topics in our later classes. Let's talk about maintaining safety equipment. Safety equipment only works if you take care of it. Gloves and boots can wear out over time. Test them regularly. If your gloves have holes or your helmet is cracked, replace them immediately. And the same goes for circuit breakers and fuses. They should be tested at least once a year. In professional companies, there is always a person called a safety officer. This person checks that all the PPE and systems are in good condition. If you ever see unsafe equipment, report it to your supervisor or the safety officer right away. And there's a timeline in here. We can see about fire safety, and we talked about those emergency response plan. An effective emergency response plan includes detailed steps for various emergencies such as fires, medical incidents, or natural disasters. It designs roles for team members and specifies communication. Yes, maintaining the close again, and the role of training and communication in safety culture is very important. Effective training and open communication are essential, usually. So we will talk about the culture of responsibility later. That was all. Is there anyone who want to ask a question? I think there isn't. Thank you to all for listening carefully, and have a good night. Hope to see you on later classes.